Hey guys, it is Brian here with my NHL 14 Be a GM series. As I've talked about in the past, I was definitely going to do one of these. New York Islanders is my NHL 13 series. And I've already talked a little bit about the team that I'm going to choose, but before we jump into that, I'll show you guys kind of what I got set up here. Everything's pretty basic. We got the superstar rating there going for that. 5-minute games. I might switch that down to 4, possibly 6, depending on how I'm feeling with the game times and stuff like that. Everything else is pretty much as you'd expect. I set the trades to be hard instead of just medium. I don't want to be getting any easy trades, but I also want to try and test the trade system as much as I can to get some interesting trades going. And, you know, if we really want a player, we're going to have to pay for it. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're setting up with here. And the team that I'm going with for NHL 14 is the Vancouver Canucks. I've already talked about this a bit on the channel. And the reason for this mainly was because I'm a big Vancouver Canucks fan. I haven't played with the Vancouver Canucks in a very long time in any GM mode, so I thought it'd be a good time to go back to them. I haven't done an actual series on the Vancouver Canucks either. And since I really want to commit to this series, the GM series, because I love playing Be a GM, I wanted to give myself a team that I would get really, you know, behind and want to do that best I could with them. So with that said, Vancouver seemed like a very solid option for that. They are a team that isn't in turmoil, but they're going to be, you know, going through some changes coming up here. And if we're able to get this season, or, you know, this series up to maybe 5, 6, 7, you know, hopefully 7, that would be awesome. But at the kind of guessing point, maybe 5 seasons or so for the whole career mode here, then, you know, we get an idea of, like, what happens after the Sedins and what happens when this team's going to have to do that eventual change from the side that they are now to a completely new looking squad in the future. So yeah, we're going to be going with them, and it should be a lot of fun as well. And just so you guys know, on top of that too, this video is very much just an introduction telling you guys what I got planned for this series. If you're not familiar with my stuff in the past, I'm going to be doing it's hard to explain exactly what I'm going to be doing for simming and playing, but I play my games. That's one thing that's very important to me, is I like to get involved with the series. I tried in the past playing all my games. That took a little bit too long, and I've made a kind of a hybrid type of scenario for this series here, where each week, you know, there could be 4 games, 3 games, 2 games, doesn't matter. We'll look at the week schedule, and every week I'll choose my favorite game from that week, play that game. The rest of them will be simmed. So we do have to have a strong squad. I can't just rely on my playing ability to get this team anywhere. And, you know, probably play maybe about 30 games a season or so, but then have that mixed in with also some computer games on top of that too. When it comes to the playoffs, we'll be playing all the playoff games. In episode 2, we'll be jumping right into the early parts of the season, as we're going to be doing the preseason. That's one of the things I love to do, see the young players, and do a really kind of thorough overall roster examination. Make sure, you know, we got the players we like, maybe, you know, figure out what players will be on the fringes, and also look at the young guys to see if any of them could possibly make the squad as well. So we're going to have the salary cap on there. And yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be going for. So episode 1, we'll take a quick look at the roster here, see what the players that we do have. You know, very familiar with the roster as it is, but I want to talk about some of the guys and what I have in kind of an expectation for them. We've got a type cap as well, so we're not going to have as much money to really move around, but there are going to be some players that, if we really want to, we can kind of load them off potentially, which is something that I'll look at doing at some point. And it really is going to come down to, you know, how the players perform on the team, because there are players that I'm excited to play with, but there's also some other guys too that you know, stats change over time, and you can't say for sure if guys are going to be the guys that you want to have on your team. So preseason will be a good chance to see the younger guys, and then the early parts of the season will kind of give us an idea for what we'll be doing with this team going ahead. But also, I'm very open to your suggestions in regards to what you'd like to see from the team going ahead, and what type of players you think would be good players to bring in for our squad. So if you want to drop some names in regards to that, we'll definitely do that as well. And actually, looking at this here, they've added more preseason games, which is pretty cool. They didn't have as many of these last year. So we'll do what we were talking about, and just in general for playing them. So as an example here, we've got 3 games for this week, and we'll choose one of these games. Always probably a home game, because I like playing at home, unless the game on the road is really one that I want to play. So we'll play one of these and sim the other 2. But we'll do a double of that for the episode and play you know, one of these as well, and then sim the other ones on top of that too. So that's kind of what's going to be set up for next episode. But yeah, like I said, we'll take a look at the roster here, see what we're working with, and then I'll quickly get Landon in here, who will be a part of the series as well. If you're not familiar with my series, I play with my younger brother. Gives the game an interesting challenge, and also we get an opportunity to play with each other, which is something that we get to do sometimes, but not all the time. So it's an interesting dynamic, which I think led to a very interesting kind of series that we're able to do last time around. But for this one, I'm just running solo. So we got Sedin, obviously, first line center, Kessler, second line center, and then we got Brad Richardson, who's going to be a guy who could play the third line center, but we also have other options too. Jordan Schrader's the option right there, but we also have Mike Santorelli, who actually has a pretty solid rating. That would be a guy that we definitely want to take a look at, and Zach Hamill there, Stefan Schneider, Alex Friesen, Stephen Anthony, guys that aren't really going to press too hard for the spots here. Brendan Gaunt's one of the first round picks for the Canucks that is going to get a good look. These guys are going to get a good look, but we want to develop our players as much as we can, and we still have a very solid squad. You can see we have a bit of cap there going on too. Sedin being the first line center there, or first line left winger, and then Higgins on the wing. And happy to see his rating there at 83. I'm not going to delve into the actual specific stats because I want to keep this on the shorter end, but that's good to see that he's probably going to be a bit better. David Booth down to 81. That was one of the guys that I was kind of thinking that if we need some cap room, David could be a guy that we might move on. But it'll be interesting to see how he is on that third line, and with a little bit more of a lower rating. And then Tom Sestito's there as well. And got some wingers here. Alexander Malay is a guy that I'm excited to see how he develops. We'll take a quick look. Not that good potential. We'll look into those as well later on. I'm not going to, again, jump into too much of this right now. Bill Sweat, a favorite of mine, his rating has gone down significantly as well, so that's not going to happen for him anytime soon. Again, I'll take a quick look. Only 2 stars. He's probably not making the team then anytime soon. But Hunter Shinkaruk and Bo Horvat there. I guess I'll be looking at these as well. So 4.5 for Shinkaruk there. I like that. And 4 stars for Horvat for potential. So we got 2 young players there with a lot of potential. Happy to see that there. And Ronald Kennens as well. Let's see the right wingers here. Got Burrows looking pretty good there. Cassian actually have a pretty solid rating. He looks like he's got some solid potential there too. So that'll be nice to see how he is. I think that's a little bit generous to him, but hey, we'll take it. Hansen, a guy that I love playing with, and Dale Weiss there as well. And Ben Ferrio, another guy that can kind of step in and out of the lineup if we need him to. And Nicholas Jensen, that is nice to see, a 70 and a 4-star potential rating. That is awesome as well. So we got a young player there that could probably step in right away if we want him to. If not, AHL is a good spot for him to be as well. Darren Archibald there, and that's pretty much it for the wingers. Let's look at the defensemen, because I felt like the defense was a little bit insane in regards to the Canucks last year. Hamu still for a very high rating though, at 87 there. BX getting the boost up, like to see that. Edler looking pretty good. Garrison as well. Very solid D for us. Chris Tanev, he's got, that's pretty good. He could develop a little bit more. And then Yannick Weber, a guy that I actually had on the Canucks, I think like 3 years ago or so when I did a career mode. So funny seeing them there as well. Andrew Albert. So, you have the drop off here. You have the 4 guys that are the solids there. Chris Tanev definitely getting a start. And then, the 6th and 7th defenseman type of scenario is where it's a little bit more hazy. Good to see there. Corrado as well, 3.5 stars. Was worried about him maybe not being that good in this game. But that's assurance there. And just taking a quick look at these guys here. Polasek, a guy that I really like. Let's see if he... only 2.5. I'm not going to be changing any of the ratings. I've done that in the past. I feel like that's a bit, we're just going to keep it very vanilla for this series here. Lots of 70s, though. Look at this. Very even on the defense here. Sawyer Hernay. See how he's looking. All these guys not really having that great ratings in regards to that. But lastly, we got Eddie Lack and Roberto Luongo and Joe Canada down there as well. And Luongo, obviously a guy that's now our starter for sure. But Eddie Lack, he's... Oh, there we go. That's beauty. 4 stars. So we can actually look at Eddie Lack as a potential starter in the future. I'd love to see Eddie Lack being the starter for this team down the road. Not right now, but I mean, in our type of scenario, year 3 or something like that, Luongo getting up to 36, it'd be kind of funny to see Eddie take the reins. That's a lot more of a realistic kind of stepping stone there versus, you know, how Schneider came in and that was kind of pushing Luongo out. That could work very well where Lack gets to the point that he's good enough when Luongo is just about to retire. But that's the roster, guys, and I am super excited to do this. I'm going to have lots of these videos coming up in the near future as I'm just going to want to jump into this and get as many out as I can. So stay tuned for lots more Be a GM from the Vancouver Canucks series I'm going to be doing. And like I said, if you have any requests for trades, let me know. Nothing's going to happen right away because we want to really feel this team out at first. But I'll take your requests and we can start kind of filing those in and figuring out what, you know, might be good players to pick up for our team. Besides from that, you know, if you just want to leave comments in regards to the series, let me know. And also, please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, as I'm very excited to share more, and it'd be good to hear from you guys in regards to if you're excited for this series. But until next video, guys, thank you for watching. Landon will be here, and we'll get this series started. See you in a bit.